We are live in Tyendinaga near Belleville, where after almost 3 weeks, a railway blockade that has disrupted travel across eastern Ontario has been dismantled. Take a look at the scene right now. A number of vehicles are leaving the tracks where they've been set up all day. This is as close as we can get to the scene, and all of the signs and flags that had been set up on the tracks are now gone. Instead, police are now there, as well as CN rail workers. And while protesters were pushed back, they aren't far from here. A number of additional encampments have popped up, and they say they're not backing down just yet. 8 hours after a midnight deadline, protesters on the front lines capture the dramatic moment they clash with OPP. The scuffle only lasting seconds.
Okay, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 arrests.
And resulting in multiple arrests.
It was devastation on our part. Devastation. Because like we said, we have been nothing but peaceful.
The railway blockade was set up in early February to support nationwide anti-pipeline protests and what supporters call the RCMP invasion of Wet'suwet'en territory in BC. And today, after pushing protesters back, police started slowly dismantling the encampment that has halted train service in eastern Ontario, towing away vehicles like what had become a symbolic snowplow at the site since the very start, decorated in signs and flags.
It's a total human rights violation at this point.
Prime Minister Justin Trudeau speaking out in Ottawa today after meeting with his incident response team, saying there was no other choice but to move in.
And when it became clear that there was no reciprocal openness to dialogue from the Wet'suwet'en hereditary leader chiefs, we made a shift in our posture.
It didn't take long for a second encampment to come together just a few kilometers away. This one on Tyendinaga Mohawk territory, still close to the railway, but not blocking the tracks. Police standing by just across the way while protesters burned tires, sending black smoke into the sky. Public Safety Minister Bill Blair says the government is still open to further discussions.
We are not in any way compromising our commitment to the reconciliation agenda, but at the same time, the impact of these rail disruptions and the barricades is untenable. It can't continue. It cannot persist.
Shortly after the blockade was clear, CN rail workers began initial inspections of the track, but it's unclear when service will resume. A member of the Mohawk community tells us that everyone who was arrested here today will be released without charges. We're also hearing that a test train will come through here momentarily. It'll be the first one to come through since February 6th.